So we were with Mika and it's January 11th, 2025. We're gonna go over the chart of the year and we're gonna go over the immediate transits, and then we're gonna go over the progressed chart, which is 2.5 years. So I'm gonna start and share the screen. Let's see here. I think I have to hit share sound.
I can hear you.
Let's see. I can't see you. Okay, now I can see you. Can you see this screen?
Yes.
So you just see the wheel here?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Let's see. So yeah, let's start with the transits. So the transits, again, as you know, are the green planets. And the planets, they move counterclockwise. And then the asteroids move clockwise. Whoops, counterclockwise, clockwise. So you got the sun in the 6th house. So we have what's cool about you and me is we're both Leo rising. When people have Leo rising, you're on the same transit cycle.
Okay.
So we have the same transiting planets. They're just hitting different natal planets. So for example, because I'm Leo rising, I have Pluto in the 6th house over here. So Leo rising people all have the same cycle. So they're going through the same themes in life. So I would reach out to if you have other Leo rising friends, because that could be a good connection to bounce off of similar themes.
Okay.
Let's see. So yeah, Venus is in your 8th house, Saturn's in your 8th house, and the full moon is going, let's see, the full moon's going to be in your 12th house. So let's talk about Venus and Saturn in your 8th house.
Okay.
So 8th house, again, is the house of Scorpio. It's death, sex, and the occult, anything that's hidden. And Saturn is touching your natal Chiron. See here?
Okay.
Little H-looking thing is Saturn touching your natal Chiron. So this is why all of this death stuff is happening.
Okay.
Saturn is the benevolent father. It's basically saying, hey, you need to focus on this for your soul's expansion and for healing. And because it's on your Chiron, it's all about facing the wound and coming into the healer aspect. So with Chiron in the 8th, it is kind of like the energy of a death doula, working with death. And the other parts of you are not going to go away, like the magical fairy and the earth-based and the shamanic practices and all the things aren't ever going to go away. You're going to utilize all of them, working with death and the topic of death. So all these things that are happening, you already know, are in direct alignment with your mission. It's just, it is a heavy topic. But Venus here is helping you to lighten the mood. Like instead of a traumatic death, like it could have been worse, of like some people work with death in terms of murder or like some, heavy death. But with Venus here, it's like easing the death aspect of life, of like, no, these people are going to transition naturally, and there's time for you to grieve, there's time for you to prepare their death. You have the heads up rather than a shock of traumatic death. So Venus is bringing that abundance and love and resources and even money through inheritance, um, shared resources, other people's money. So you may get money from other people right now, even more so. You may meet a person. Where Venus is it could be a love relationship. So you could even meet someone, a new friend, a romantic interest in terms of the realm of death. Like say you go to the funeral and you're not expecting to meet a friend, but the person sitting next to you becomes your best friend. You know, things like that. Like it's Venus, as a reminder, Venus is the great attractor. It magnetizes to you love and money. So when it's in the eighth house, a place where you wouldn't feel love because it's the house of Scorpio, you end up attracting love or money in this area. So it's going to be there, huh?
I can't believe how spot on you are, but I can. So anyway,
It's
and since this is being recorded, I'm not going to say everything, but I'm being drawn to the death doula and the death. Now, how long will this transit last? Because Venus, my eighth house.
Venus is quick. It's 5 weeks.
Okay.
It's already been there a week, so 4 weeks.
It's about 1 more month.
Yeah.
So this is not the 2.5 year thing. But the reason all of this is guided into this death focus actually started out when I was given to assist in transition in when I was in Scotland. And at the time, like it was 25 years ago, death was far from my mind, or even helping people who didn't know anyone who died, whatever. So when the death doula thing came out through a friend, I didn't even have to have signing up for this work. It was like I'm hopeless. And it also, it's part of my mission, but it is kind of hard to believe. But I'm saying this now, so we have a recording of it. That when it happens, it's been fortunate. It is like told because I won't give you the name of who I believe it is, but I'll give a couple clues. English. Okay. And I channeled his first wife. So when I was in all those I was told Scotland was there's an album called Flowers that you probably never heard of before.
What's it called?
Flowers and
Oh no, I haven't.
And Elvis Costello is on that album, and I've met. And at the time, I was told things happened, and they said different things were going to happen. But that when I met this person, they would be there would be mixed feelings around it, kind of like the end. Because when I appear on the scene, they're going to know at a subconscious level that their death is approaching. And I was supposed to help them. It's just so weird because at the time that was nothing. Like I was a Spanish teacher. Then I got into past lives. So this is just really interesting. So anyway, with that said, but I also had the message that when I got into the more inner circle, it wouldn't happen right away. It would be within a couple years, maybe like 3 years. Does that make sense? And there's some past life carryover with this too. I won't go into now during our reading. I'm just putting this down now because I can trust you. And I think you know who I'm talking about because we've talked about this before, I believe, of who I'm talking about, right? Okay. But I don't, yeah. So anyhow, it's interesting that what you're bringing up there within this, and it's really affirming, because I know for you that you feel your call has been to do shadow work. And, you know, I've always looked at you as being like the dark fairy and I'm the light fairy, but we're both magical. And I've always respected that gift you have. And I still have challenges embracing the shadow, I guess, or working through it. And I've always admired your strength in doing so, right? So I think also that's why I was brought into this health situation to bring me to kind of more of a closer, like to the ledge of that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, I did not, I've never ever felt that I was going to take the leap. I mean, it's not, I've never even been afraid. I know that sounds maybe odd, but although years ago I also got the download that the lymph node stuff would be my demise.
Hmm.
Hmm. We're
Hmm.
talking a long time. I think it was in Scotland actually too, that during
Wow.
that same time. Yeah. So
Wow.
anyway, I'll stop there, but I want to say that your channeling and your reading is really, I believe, spot on. And especially when you're talking about, I don't sense necessarily a romantic interest, but due to being, I have to really believe this so that when it happens, I don't have fear. Because in the past, I've had fear when I've had encounters with these souls, just like
Mm-hmm.
they've had fears of me too. And it's fear. I fear that I'm not going to do it right, like
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And so I need this encouragement, just like I did the first time when I followed to go under the advisement of an astrologer, by the way. I don't know if I ever shared that with you, but an
Hmm.
astrologer read my charts and he came to my house and he said, "You have to go. You're supposed to help him heal." And I'm like, "How am I going to do that? I'm not, whatever." And you're going to meet him. He gave me dates and different things. And I thought he's nuts. And then he died. He gave me this message. I didn't know him well. I said I didn't have the money, and he says, "I will give you the money. You have to go. This is part of your life mission." And I'm like, and then he died. So I went
Wow.
in his, uh-huh. And he wasn't old. He was in his like 40s or 50s maybe. And
Wow.
but he did say he felt uncomfortable here. He was coming to say goodbye. We were friends, but like he felt comfortable talking to me. But anyway, yeah, there's a whole thing. And even when I went to Scotland, I met a man with his exact same name. Like a lot of weird stuff that comes in the book that I wrote initially that I would prefer to write as a part. So I think that's why this is coming up. So
Hmm.
there's such a story. His name was Chris Pierce. So when he
Hmm.
died, I freaked out because I realized he had come to say goodbye. And he was telling me he didn't feel comfortable on the earth any longer. And I said, "Do you feel comfortable with me?" "Yes, I do. But I don't feel like I want to be
Hmm.
here anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
anyway, with that said, I went and I was about to give up. I went through all this stuff and spent all this money, had an amazing spiritual adventure. But then, of course, I did meet him, right? But when I met him, again, because I had met him once before, um, he was not open. He was very upset. But then, of course, I was on his land talking to his people that worked there. I mean,
Hmm.
wasn't like stalking him or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
there's other things to it. George Harrison had just been attacked. I mean, these people live in fear, but there I
Yeah.
was in a rainbow hat, right? In the middle
Yeah.
of Scotland, little me, not even 5 feet tall, but he told the people that work for him, who were my friends, that he was scared of me.
Oh.
Anyway, I know they laughed too. They just thought it was hilarious. But anyway, I have to remember these stories, but the crazy part was the astrology. And so I have to pull out my journals because I think I journaled and wrote this message about what this download I had about how, and then I felt this a lot of calls to go, and I've met these people over and over again, but there was two sides to it. The last time I met his son, I was scared because I didn't. It's this thing with Linda. It doesn't come on demand, or it didn't then, right? It was like I couldn't like just open my mouth and start channeling her, right? But it's gotten better.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's the
That's,
interesting part that I'm finding with this Scorpio stuff, which has
mm,
to do, and you're bringing up Venus because one of his albums, I have to share this with you now, so we have this down. His album, one of his albums is Venus and Mars. Have you ever heard of that?
mm,
All right, I hadn't either. And you know who brought it up? Was the astrologist Chris Pierce. He came to
mm,
my house because I was never into his post Beatles music really at
yeah,
all. I mean,
yeah,
it was like when I was a kid, and he's like, "Do you know that?" And he's like, you. I said no, and he's like, "His Venus is in your Mars, or my Mars was in his Venus, or whatever he said."
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, I have clients come to me, and he's like, they think they have some affinity with somebody famous, and he's like, and usually it's just fantasy, and he's like, yours isn't. You're
Hmm.
going to meet him. And I'm like, you're crazy, dude. You're crazy. But
Yeah.
it did happen. And I
Wow.
have to remember, oh yeah, it happened when I went to Scotland. It happened over and over. Literally, I would go to London, and one time a cab pulled up in front of me, and he got out of the cab. I
Hmm.
mean, like so many times, New York, LA. No, granted, I was guided to these places, but they're full of millions of people.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, I guess I I felt that when this doula thing came up, and I really appreciate you holding space for me right now because, and the fact that we're videotaping this because that's, when you talked about a book coach, I need now to remember all these things because I want to put this message down
Mhm,
before he dies, right?
mhm.
I don't want it to be something, I mean, I have written a first draft of a part of the story because that was through a point. I wrote 500 pages in a month. And that only went through 2000. So much has happened in these last 25 years too.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
anyway, thank you. I
Yes.
think I wanted to embrace this moment and
Yeah.
also have it audio taped and videotaped.
It
So,
helps you integrate. I get it.
well, the thing is that so that it's not like, people can make things up. And the thing is, I'd like to have it done before he passes because people could say, oh, you made the whole thing up. And I'm not saying he would discount it. I don't even know if I would publish it. Maybe the information is just for him and his family. Um, and that's why I never pushed with the past life discoveries that I have found for him. Um, because my friend really, he's a reader. Troy's like, oh, you could make so much money. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. This is for them. This is their soul journey. This isn't to be made money from, you know? And
Yes, it's all very interesting. So I would like to read Saturn in the eighth house out of this book. So
okay.
I think I've mentioned this book before. It's called Planets in Transit by Robert Hand. It's
Okay.
an amazing book all about the transits. My favorite thing of astrology is the transits because the transits, they trigger events. And so if you know, oh, okay, my Mercury's in the fifth house right now. What does that mean? An amazing book to learn of the transiting patterns, and then you'll learn the length of the transits. Like the planets that are closest to the Earth make the quickest transits because of the gravitational pull. So
Okay.
the moon's not a planet, it's a luminary, just like the sun. So it transits for like 2.5 days. It's very quick. And then you got Mercury, which is your ruling planet. It's a very quick, it's like 3 to 4 weeks, and it also transits. And then you got like Venus, and then you have Mars, and then you have Jupiter, and then you have Saturn, and then you have Uranus, and so the furthest away from the Earth, the
Pluto.
longer the transiting pattern. So Pluto, right, is farthest from the Earth, and it takes 248 years to go all the way around.
Right.
So you really start to get a feel, and you know the patterns that are happening for your day to day. Like that's why you track the moon. I
I
love
have
when people,
the moon. I'm a moonologist now.
yeah, and I love that because you're okay. What's the energetics for today? And you're
Mhm.
like, and it's really cool to see people tapped into that, because it changes your life when you're aware. Oh, today's a Gemini moon. It's a great day to communicate. It's a great day to send emails and texts and go hang out with your friends for coffee and da 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 da.
Or travel. And I'm
Yeah.
doing that tomorrow with my Gemini friend.
Ah,
And I spoke
nice.
last night with my Gemini friend. But you can't make this stuff up. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So I want to read about, because Saturn in the eighth house, it's gonna be there, it's gonna be there a long time.
Okay, so this goes longer because Saturn, how long will this transit take place for me?
Let's see here.
Isn't it the same for everybody under Saturn? Because Saturn's gonna,
Yeah.
but it just depends on what house it is for you, correct? So where
Yeah,
is your
like
where is your Saturn right now? Do you know for the next?
yeah, Saturn is lit. So we have the same rising. So we have the same pattern. So Saturn's also in my eighth house.
Oh, so when you're doing this chart for me, there's carryover for you too, which is super cool because
Yeah.
it reminds you and affirms for you. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's why
So one thing I'm
Leo,
going to tell you is that
yeah,
when it comes time for me to cross the pond again, which
yeah.
I believe will be next fall. It could be sooner. I don't know. That's going to be guided. But I will tell you this. I used to always get readings from a friend of mine who is a reader, and he literally told me, "You're going to meet him, da, 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 da." And I'm like, "You're crazy." And it happened. And so I'm going to be consulting you about my chart so
Yeah.
that I know when best to go. And because that's what this astrologist did for me. It was crazy. He gave me various times. He told me, find out where he eats. I'm like, how would I know where he eats? Do you know the very first cafe I went to in London where I felt at home and kept going back to was where he ate out of a
Weird.
whole city of freaking London. I'm not kidding you. And this area called St. John's Wood is where I know I've lived there before. Or maybe I lived through Linda. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. And I was like,
Hmm.
how would you find out where somebody eats? I mean, and it just now on reflection is crazy. So
I
I'm
mean,
gonna be
the
I'm gonna
soulmate
be
is,
contacting you because he's crossed over, but it's funny because I'm seeing him now like he's here. Like and
yeah.
he's
Well,
smiling at me going, he's giving me the thumbs up. And like, yep, you were guided to meet with you today. We are. Wow.
hmm.
So you're saying Pluto is all those times. So why are we focusing on Saturn? Because of the Chiron aspect, but will that change? Is my Chiron going to remain in Saturn or touching Saturn, or does
So
that?
this is why I'm guided to read about it, because Saturn is maturity. Saturn is where the focus is of your chart.
Okay.
Saturn is the benevolent father that kicks your ass if you don't focus on what he's telling you to focus. And he's literally touching your Chiron. So this is a very, you'll never have this event happen again. Like it's a very auspicious time for you to heal yourself and to focus on you. You have to focus on you, because
Mm-hmm.
the 27 club, the Saturn return people, like this is your chance to really do the deep work that you must face. So it's a really hard aspect, and that's why I'm going over it, because you have to focus on you and your wound right now. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to read the Saturn part, the significance of transiting Saturn, and then I'm going to read it in the eighth house. And it's not too long. Um, Saturn is one of the most important planets to examine in your transits, for it represents the way you see and experience the universe as you have structured it. The location of transiting Saturn in your chart indicates the part of your life that is being examined and tested at this time. The house that Saturn is in represents the areas of greatest tension in your life, to which you must direct your closest attention. So, all eighth house. The planets that Saturn transits in your natal chart represents energies in your life that are being challenged and behavior patterns that require examination. So it's touching Chiron and it's requiring you to examine your Chiron. Most people experience Saturn transits as if Saturn were an external force that was utterly out of control. Frequently, a Saturn transit seems like the product of fate, unusually an unpleasant fate. But you must understand that Saturn represents the way you program your universe at the deepest, most fundamental level. Consequently, the energy of a Saturn transit is never truly external, but your conscious mind avoids responsibility for what is happening. So the unconscious mind takes over by programming the event unconsciously. You do not experience its effects until the outer world reacts and a fated event occurs, which is nothing more than the universe responding to your own actions. No matter how unpleasant a Saturn transit seems at the time, it represents what you really want in life and is helping you to get it. Most people are out of touch with what they truly want. If you thoroughly understand your needs and wants, you will find that Saturn simply brings about their manifestation. The losses that Saturn brings are of things that you do not want or need. No matter how much you think you want them, let them go, especially relationships that Saturn may end. When Saturn transits a house, you should pay great attention to the affairs of that house, 8th house. It is not a sign that everything in that house is going wrong, but you should direct your consciousness there and find out how you should relate to those affairs. If you are in a good position, that is, one that is appropriate at this time in your life, the transit will firm up and structure that house for you. If you are not in a good position, Saturn will bring great changes that will be unpleasant insofar as you resist them. Depression, sadness, physical and emotional losses are all signs that you are not well adjusted to the issues of the house and signs ruled by Saturn. Do not be dismayed. However, if you have those feelings, they are normal responses. Very few people are so in touch with themselves that they can react to Saturn positively. In a very real sense, Saturn is the teacher, but it is each of us teaching ourselves about what we really are. The end. Now I will.
Tons of sense.
I love Saturn. All right, so now I'm reading Saturn in the 8th house. This transit brings into focus finances and possessions that you hold with others. In a larger way, it brings into question the greater transformations that you have been going through. It is not enough simply to know who you are and how you relate to others. You must also come to terms with other people's values. You must learn to live with those values and to incorporate them constructively into your life without destroying your own individuality. With Saturn transiting this house, you will become aware of this issue. You will become aware of this issue, often through conflict with others' values. Other people's resources may be cut off from you and be unavailable when you think you need them. A concrete example of this would be not getting a bank loan because you have not met the bank's criteria. Or in a marriage, your partner may encounter financial hard times that cut you off from an accustomed source of income. During this transit, you cannot count upon others for any kind of material backing. They may not have the money, or they may want to share it with you now. it would be a good idea to get into a position where you don't have to depend on anyone else's resources.
I'm there.
All right,
I am.
very cool. The eighth house is also the house of major transformations in life, including death.
Okay.
However, it must be said immediately that your own death is extremely unlikely result of an eighth house Saturn transit.
That's good to hear.
Yes. If death enters your life at all at this time, it is likely to be someone else's.
Okay. Yep.
Or you may suddenly become psychologically concerned about your own mortality. You may think about death more often. You have just finished a phase of intense encounters with others, which has enabled you to define yourself by becoming aware of how you deal with people. This phase is more or less finished, and now the question arises of what all is this for? During this time, you are likely to review the changes you have gone through in the years since Saturn crossed your ascendant and to look for the pattern in it.
How would we know when that is?
I would go back. I mean, we're talking like 20 years ago kind of thing. But,
That's what I'm talking about, but that's when it came up. It
huh.
was in 2000.
So we could go back and go to the reverse dates and find when exactly Saturn was hitting your ascendant.
Wouldn't that be freaky if it was around the time when I went to Scotland and all this stuff went down? Wow.
I have a feeling it is that time.
I have a feeling it is too, because I was sent over there by an astrologist, and now you're telling me to go back there, in a sense, right? Wow. Well, that makes me feel better. I feel like I'm on target.
Yeah. Good. All right, so this is almost done.
And if I am, it might include you because of your music connection too. You just never know.
I mean, there's a lot I could talk about with world music and George Harrison, and I know a lot about George Harrison, and anyway, the
Yeah, but this, this isn't George.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying like the Beatles and the psychedelic rock, and I'm studying all the different
Well, the
aspects of
key for
music.
them was going to the Maharaja and
Yeah.
integrating that into their music because that was part of their divine plan too, to shift through. Well, kirtan is really the only music I am into, which is interesting. But go ahead.
Okay, so you're likely to review the changes you've gone through in the years since Saturn crossed your ascendant and look for the pattern in it. Through this analysis, you hope to arrive at an understanding of where you are going. This process and learning to understand other people's resources and values will prepare you for the transit of Saturn conjunct the midheaven, right? So then it goes all the way to your MC. And that's a huge event also.
Oh,
which will happen in a few years.
okay. Oh, wow.
Also, sorry?
Yeah. Go ahead. Wouldn't that be
Also,
weird if that was the year that he passed?
you never know.
No.
All right, also, you will learn the limitations of your own resources and the degree to which you have to cooperate with and depend on others. The end.
Okay. Oh, I'm hoping. I find it just unbelievable, like exactly what you said is what I'm going through with the inheritance stuff, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And the value conflict as to like what I want to do with that energy that's in the form of money compared to what the other people want to do with that, if that makes sense. But that's also based on where we are uh, consciously. And I understand that. I mean, most people are at a lower chakra awareness level and they don't get there. But that's okay. So we have to have compassion. That's a great book. Wow. I just, ooh, amazing.
It's an incredible book.
You're incredibly knowledgeable. I just want to let you know. I just,
I'll
I'm in
stop.
awe.
I'll stop. All right, so let's bring it back. Okay, so let's move on. I want to talk to you about the nodes of the moon.
Okay.
They are moving. Let me double check. I think they're moving tomorrow. No, today. Today.
Moving
Okay.
today? Okay.
So today is a kind of a rites of passage kind of day. So it is suggested when the moon's nodes move a sign, because they move every 18 months. So every year and a half, the nodes of the moon move into a new sign and a new house.
Oh.
So they've been in Aries. So let's see. Do you see I got to figure out how to make circles and things on this program.
Oh, no, that's fine. That it's a bit, making it bigger helps. Yeah. Oh,
You
I
see
see it. Is that the
So
moon?
yeah, so this is the moon's nodes, or north node, south node, right? Like your book.
Oh, is that what you call the, okay, the node. My north node, I thought your nodes stayed constant. They don't? Like
No,
mine's at Gemini.
everything keeps moving. So the universe takes a picture. It's like that's what astrology is. It's a snapshot of your soul, but the planets and celestial bodies keep moving.
Well, of course, yeah.
So so this is your natal north node,
Oh, the
28.
natal is in the center, and then the other one's the transit. Okay,
Yeah.
forgive me. I didn't know about the nodes doing that too, though. Cool.
I'm gonna pause this. I gotta get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay. Mm. Wow.
All right, and then I'll share the screen again. Okay, so let's go back to the nodes. You're born with 28 degrees of Gemini in the 11th house, but the nodes keep moving, and now it's all the way around. So they move every 18 months, year and a half.
Okay.
So for 18 months, it was in Aries.
That makes
So
sense.
the last 18 months was about tapping into your inner warrior.
Mm-hmm.
It was about independence. It was about me, my way. What do I want? My passions, me, my path. It was very self-focused, and it's very internal. It was very like, what do I desire and what do I want for myself? And like a leveling up of strength. A lot of us went through hell to uncover the warrior within, the strength. It showed a lot of masculine wounding around us. It was probably mirrored that way, where you could clearly see all the wounded masculine archetypes. So it was a massive collective healing. So when the nodes are in a constellation, It is the collective evolutionary path. So the moon's nodes, as a past life regressionist, these are karmic. These are very karmic nodes. It's the orbit of the moon. So the north and south node are karmic. So we must pay attention in astrology to the nodes of the moon and where they're going, because that's where the collective, including yourself, is evolving towards. So today is a big deal because it's in 0 degrees of Pisces today.
Oh, because it goes counterclockwise.
Yes.
Oh, so, oh, wow. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like this. Okay.
And Pisces is very, very emotional. It's very psychic.
Yes.
It rules the collective unconscious. It rules the 12th house.
Right.
So it's channeling, it's psychic, it's other dimensional realities, it's magic, it's mysticism, it's meditation. It's also hospitals and institutions and prisons and places of worship. And it's a deeply dichotomy kind of energy. And so notice yours is still in the 9th house. So this is your cusp line of Pisces.
Okay.
But it's still in your 9th house for probably another couple weeks. And then it'll move into your 8th house.
Oh, I'm in Pisces right now with my node.
So the collective node.
Collective node is in the 8th house. I mean, 10th, 12th house. But I'm moving into Scorpio. No.
So the collective node has been in Aries, the constellation, because this is the zodiac belt.
Right. Gotcha.
These are the constellations.
Okay. It's been in okay.
So it's been in the constellation of Aries for 18 months in your 9th house.
Okay.
And 9th house is your philosophy in life. It's long distance travel. Yeah, it's the house of Sag. It's a great house. It's teaching. It's an amazing house. And it's still in your 9th house for 2 more weeks.
So right now it's in my 9th house. Okay, that makes sense.
And
Except
then
I haven't done any long-term travel, except for my dreams. So yeah.
But still, there's still a level of travel. You have a 2-week window to plan a long distance trip.
Okay.
If you have any trips that you want to plan, I would plan on doing it in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because then the nodes will move into your 8th house in a couple weeks, and it'll eventually hit your Chiron.
Right.
And
so then the node's going to move into that same house, the Scorpio archetype, with death, money, sex. Okay. Right.
So this full moon is very interesting because we're going to have Neptune, Saturn, and the North Node having a party in Pisces.
Okay.
So if you meditate on
Neptune, Saturn, and what else?
The North Node.
Oh, okay. Are having
North Node. Yeah, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn. So 4 people. Four. They're having a party in Pisces.
Okay.
For this full moon. So this full moon is going to be very emotional. Very psychic though. It's going to be downloads, upgrades, occult information will come through. Like it's a great time.
With what I just shared with you.
Yeah.
I don't share that with people, you know.
I know, because I can feel that you've had a lot of judgment. So I appreciate you sharing.
Well, it's not just judgment. I mean, if this mission was for my best friend, it'd be one thing, but it's another thing. I guess it isn't really the same, but to the external world, I guess it's always, are you? But I do know. And the funny thing, pattern that I don't know if it was a but my other life, these people directly. He was my, well, he wasn't my grandfather. He was my husband's grandfather.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, that Saturn father thing that you bring up.
Yeah. Yeah. So Saturn, the benevolent, so also it'll show up externally as someone in your life as a benevolent father related to death and the occult through this transit. And Saturn's going to be here a while. It's going to be here for, let's see, not too much longer, 6 months, and then it'll move into Aries. But let's talk about the nodes. So the node is going to be in your 8th house in a couple weeks for 18 months.
Okay.
So you're going to really be forced to get to know the 8th house.
Oh, wow. Eighth house is my focus for
So,
18 months. Is
yeah.
that
So yes, 18 months, a year and a half. So Saturn's already there. It's been there. It's been kicking your ass to, hey, really focus on the 8th house. And now the nodes of the moon are there for 18 whole months. And they're going to eventually touch your Chiron, which is a gift because it's highlighting your wound and you can step into the wounded healer. It's transforming the wounded healer. So wounded healer can now be the exalted warrior, the divine warrior. So instead of being in your wound, it's like you're really integrating the healer aspect of yourself. So it's an important year for you in terms of healing. The focus is going to be around your healing. The universe is forcing you to focus on you and to learn to be more selfish. And I'm sure you've heard a million times, right? The plane's going down and you have to put the oxygen mask on first. And that's what you're doing right now. And you're doing a great job.
I am.
As painful of a path that you're on, it's incredible how you're really moving through it in a conscious way. And it'll only go up from here. Like this is not something to be feared. Scorpio's not, it's not all about trauma and darkness. It's about transformation. And it's kind of like you're in the caterpillar, like the cocoon stage, and you're internally regrowing and accessing these imaginal cells. And it's a very internal 18 months. It's going to be very like transformative, internal. And then the nodes of the moon will eventually go to Aquarius after 18 months, and it'll be more focused on community and putting yourself out there and maybe publishing your books. I mean, it's something you can really cocoon. So I'm inviting you. Your only piece of homework from me is around the nodes of the moon. So I'm inviting you to write out what are your goals for the next 18 months around the theme of the 8th house Scorpio in Pisces. And I want you to write out specific goals for yourself for the next 18 months that you want to accomplish. And either hire, a coach to help you with check-ins, maybe reread The Artist's Way. But there's a very important window and portal you're in. And it's about inner transformation, and it's themed around self-focused transformation and creative expression. So it's in a really important window right now. So it's like utilize the portal or lose the opportunities. So I'm just inviting you to get really, really clear on your goals for the next 18 months. Because if you use this time wisely, you will transform into this amazing butterfly, phoenix, magical So then when the nodes are in Aquarius, you can really give of your gifts.
Makes total sense.
All right. So
And the interesting thing is the death theme
yeah.
at this stage now, the 24 years later, 25 years later, I should call it. And because like when I was in this little town of Campbelltown, has a couple hundred people, they have a little tiny library. And at the time I had this rental car and I went into the library and they had a few cassettes. This tells you they were cassettes. And I went to the stack. They had one cassette. And this is, you have to realize, PM, we'll call him. PM has a home in the area. He's well known. He wrote this song called The Mulligan Tire and all this stuff. There was one cassette and it was called Flowers. Wait, what did I call it? Dirt. Flowers in the
Flowers
Dirt.
and Dirt.
Flowers in the Dirt. Out of all of them. And I've never heard of it before. And that was what I listened to when I was traveling around the area and having all these mystical experiences and getting the downloads from the music. The other thing I didn't share with you, which is really crazy, when I had my birthday, the very first time that I met him, which was September 8th. I met him on the 18th of that same year. But that morning of my birthday, my roommate gave me the album Venus and Mars on either as a CD, I think. It wasn't a cassette, it was a CD. I'd never heard of it. I was kind of upset because I'm not into Wings or whatever. But anyway,
yeah.
When you listen, the lyrics are short, but you'd love it because it brings in extraterrestrial stuff. Okay. But it's like sitting in the stands of a sports arena, waiting for the show to begin. Red light, green light, strawberry wine, good friend of mine, studies the stars. Venus and Mars are all right tonight. Those are the first lyrics. Now, I saw Paul at the county stadium, okay, here in Milwaukee. And my former boyfriend bought me the tickets. I didn't buy them. He surprised me. And it was just this whole weird thing. And he was with Linda. She was still alive. But it was like sitting in the stands of the sports arena, waiting for the show to begin. And then the second line to this thing is something about waiting for the spaceship to come, you know? I mean, it's like, it's really, I mean, people don't know this other side. And then I studied his music and got all sorts of messages that nobody would get. But the message from Flowers in the Dirt blew me away. It's now like the only album I have on my phone.
Nice.
But I don't listen to it, but I will when I'm writing, because music, as you know, is a bridge. And when I was on my missions, I did listen to the music to connect, to help, which is something I'm going to write about, you know, like, because it's a teaching memoir. It's not, you know, you have to have a purpose for this. It's not for me. I've already lived it. But so anyway, I'm just,
very cool.
This is the Pisces stuff coming through now.
Yeah. I love that you share this mystical, all these mystical experiences you've had and connections.
My God, they go on and on and on and on.
I think it's incredible. Yeah.
Well, you too, I'm sure. I mean, we all have. It's just not everybody.
Well, what's interesting is my Mercury is in Pisces and it's conjunct your Chiron. So we help each other to see each other's, and if someone sees you and validates your experiences because they can relate, it's healing for you. So that's our connection. Is I speak the same language as you, and so it's healing.
It's friends without filters. That's what you know. What I mean? I can throw this out there, and you're not going to call them to come up with the little, you know, the little white coat, you know.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, this is why I write blogs and things, and all my lyrics. If you look at my lyrics, they're all like mystical and aliens and astrology, and there's people don't even understand my music. I'm like, it takes the right person, the right audience to get it. And I'm so glad you get it.
But maybe people don't always get it. It's like his music. People, he actually has a song with Linda, "Come and Be Cosmically Conscious." Cosmically conscious with me. Those are the lyrics. And when I started my nonprofit, I thought that was part of it because I started a nonprofit called Consciousness Incorporated. And
Nice.
my mission was, and maybe this will be part of it, was to stimulate the soul through the arts and education, and to find a way to bridge and bring the arts in, because they're always cut, and artists too, to work with children, etc. I won't go into all that now because that's something I feel like, okay, in this next chapter I can restart this download of and it's not a hard thing to do because it can all be done online. That's the way I devised it. But anyway, but I didn't, when I say this to people, did you know and I thought he was going to give, I said, maybe he'll give me the rights to use that song for promotion. Because
Yeah.
I did a little promotional video, and I just had all these different people say, "Are you conscious? Are you conscious?" Joy, we called it Sync, CINC. But it was like, are you, the whole thing is to elevate. So
Yeah.
yeah, this
Well,
is I'm loving this because you mentioned the goals, and these were kind of things that had come up
yeah.
before. And I mean, I did that also in 2000, by the way. I came back from Scotland and I founded and I got approved for that nonprofit. And then 9/11 hit. And then things shifted. But it's
Well,
all
it makes perfect sense because look where your Saturn is at, where you're born with it. It's 0 degrees of Aquarius. Your entire focus is humanitarianism, Aquarius is cosmic intelligence. So your Saturn, I would actually research this, is your Saturn is in Aquarius, which means you are community focused. You are all about awakening. You are about community. You are about like you said, syncing up. How, like it's a very humanitarian, awakening, pioneering energy, and it's retrograde. There's an R next to it. So your soul is making this a very important thing because when a planet or asteroid is retrograde, it's a skip step from a previous life. So for example, if you're in a hurry, you live on, 2 floors and you have to go to work and you're in a hurry and you go into your car and you realize you forgot your key to the car. The skip step is you have to go back into the house, back up the stairs, back into your room, find your keys, and then do it again. So it makes the planet really important that you focus on that planet that has retrograde in this life because it is a skip step. So what I'm hearing is
but it shows all of these. I don't know what that upside down V thing is.
Vesta,
Oh,
it's actually
that's an
Vesta
art.
is, yeah, so all of these are retrograde.
That's what I thought. And so
So
is it.
all of these are
And that's my birth chart. So you're saying
yeah,
these were retrograde when I was born.
yes.
So they're all karmic. Well, like I said, I know the past lives, I know the connections with these people, and I know what we lived together. And I also know that because of how it ended up, there's going to be apprehension and issue.
I'm inviting you to pull yourself and just focus on you outside of your experiences. I'm talking about your greater mission.
Right.
And
Well, I'm talking about the mission that I'm supposed to work on, which is to have humanitarianism. And didn't you
yeah,
mention too, though, that aside from I'm going to have to work with other people
yeah.
to make this mission work, which is true. Like, yeah, okay.
But really, because Saturn's in the 7th house. So the 7th house is usually one-on-one.
Oh,
But
okay.
I actually see this as you could easily be a book writer, a publisher,
Yep.
and then have one-on-one clients.
Okay.
Because actually projectors are really, really good with one-on-one.
Yep. I much prefer it.
So that's what Saturn is saying to me is yeah, it's really important that you do your Saturn and that you go through your healing right now. Because by the time you have your second Saturn return, let's see. You already had your second. How old are you?
I'm 60.
Yeah.
Don't you go through it from 59 to 60 usually?
It's 57, it's like 56, 57. So you already had your Saturn return. So Saturn already kicked your ass.
Oh
So
yeah, it did.
yeah. So you
So
made
I'm
it.
done with my Saturn return.
Yeah.
When did it end? Can you tell?
Let's see. I'm gonna go look at the whoop. All right, let me look at some dates.
Don't, if you can look up the other thing I wanted to know about when
Yeah.
the, oh, I can't even read my writing here. It was something that where my ascendant was when Saturn went through my ascendant. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, we could look at that.
Because you said something about it being about 20 years ago. So that would have been interesting.
Yeah, let me first show you the
Saturn return.
yeah.
I remember you telling me about the Saturn return, and it's come up through this because I'm just like, oh my God, what else can I have here? What else can I do? And but I do feel reborn, like
Yeah.
I'm starting over and I'm releasing my family, my birth family, and I'm now open to connecting more with my soul family, which of
Yay.
course, well, we're all soul family, like, but it's kind of like that mission of my waking up, and what better way to do that than for my mom and dad, who were the pivotal foundation of that part of my life, have now crossed over too, because they
Yeah.
were the ones connecting me to that birth family. So
Absolutely. And that's very Aquarius, like cosmic family. That's very Aquarius. That's very Saturn and Aquarius.
yeah.
Let me see. Right. So 20, what are you thinking? You said 25 years ago?
With the ascendant,
Yeah.
the ascendant is Leo, and it would have been, you're saying when Saturn was in my wasn't it Saturn?
Was Saturn on your ascendant? How long do you think?
It would have been in 2000 maybe, because that's the year I went to Scotland, or 1999. Wait, no,
Hmm.
2000, around that time. I had a huge, when I started, I was doing, there was a lot of stuff going through then.
Yeah, this was, I mean, no. Let me show you.
Okay.
Um,
It could have been also when I left teaching. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of shifts.
let's see.
But when you said 20 years ago, it was like, okay.
Yeah. This thing is in the way. Okay, so the first one, can you see this? Your Saturn is touching your natal Saturn.
Yes.
This was in it was exact January 2023. So 2 years ago.
January 2023 was when Saturn.
Was conjunct your natal Saturn. So this was an exact Saturn return.
Oh, so my Saturn return ended in January of 2023.
No, it ended in 2024, but it was exact January
Yeah,
2023.
2024, that's when my mom died. My dad died in 2023.
Yeah, so this was your initiation.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's good to remember these dates of when you
So how do you
exact.
know when you're saying it conjuncted, but when did it end then? Like the Saturn return?
2024, January 2024.
Oh, January 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, is when it ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now let's look up, I'll show you 20 years ago, 25 years ago, your Saturn was actually in Taurus. It wasn't, I mean,
It wasn't in Leo.
we're talking 40 years ago it was in Leo.
Oh, so it's been 40 years since
Yeah.
that
Let
I've
me show
had.
you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that would have made 40 years ago would have made me 20. Oh, wow.
So can you see Saturn over here in Taurus?
Yeah.
So this was, yeah, 25 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, about 40 years ago, Saturn was touching your ascendant.
Oh, 40 years ago. And
So
okay.
so this is what Saturn is saying is, hey, remember 40 years ago, all the things you've been through
Oh, yeah.
up until now brought you to Saturn in the eighth house. So you're taking all that knowledge and information and integrating it during this Saturn in the eighth house. That's what it's saying.
Well, this is going to be, that was when I was trying to plan how to present the book and make an outline. I was looking at it from decades. And it was really weird how I already saw the pattern. And this is
Yeah.
weird. This just came up on something I was watching about when you reflect on your life and you look for your patterns. But the pattern that I noticed were these big shifts. When I was 20 years old, I graduated college. And that was a huge shift. And I moved, like I moved to Milwaukee and,
Yeah.
changed. So that
Yeah.
makes sense. So that's when it was, and those are big pivotal of parts in your life.
Yes.
Does it
Saturn.
normally happen in 20 years from your birth, or it just depends?
No, it's 27 years is the transits of Mars.
27 years is Mars transit?
No, I mean your returns. So every 27 to 30 years is a return. So the next return is 96 years old.
So I probably won't.
You never know. You
That
might
long.
live. If you want to live that, that's the thing. It is a choice. If you want to live that long, you will.
But that makes sense. If I live that long, I'd probably cash in at 96. I mean, what's there to go on for, right? Like I finished my next return, man. And it would probably be a real challenging one near the end, right?
I mean, you'll be one with God by then, like you're enlightened being.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's when we truly go home. We're like, okay, I learned, I get it, I know what enlightenment is. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if everybody knows it, but I'm saying I think if you get to that point, then you do have more conscious choice of when you release. The more conscious you are, the more you can release or start the ball rolling for that, even within your thoughts. That's why they say about releasing a relationship. You don't ever want to, say I want to get a divorce or think about it because that puts the ball in motion. But then again, we get those downloads from spirit too. Like I told you a long time ago when I channeled, I'll never forget. It was like prayer is God's way of telling you what's coming next. So it's like we think I want to pray for this or I want to pray for that, but it's like no, we're getting the download of what to expect. And and I was like, wow. At the time, I'm like, I would never have thought that. Even our prayers are sent from the divine. So to let us know what's coming, how crazy, right?
That's very cool.
My most amazing, like when I first started channeling, going, I know this is not me. Like it's not my whatever. So, but that's interesting. So 96, if I live to 96, which I don't know, we'll see. There can be a lot of changes that happen in the next 36 years.
It's incredible what the soul and the body can do in terms of regeneration.
Sure. Or, try to stay in it. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can truly go backwards if you want to. You can. People are in better shape when they get older than they ever were when they were younger.
Yeah. It is literally, it's the power of your belief systems, and Chiron in Pisces is all about beliefs. So we have a half an hour left.
Okay.
I'd like to go over the full moon.
Okay.
Uh, I got a hit for you of, have you read the Tibetan Book of the Living and Dying? Because
I
I'm at,
love it. I think the I've got the Egyptian book of the dead, but I don't have the Tibetan one, I don't think.
so I'm actually reading, because I got Mercury in the 8th house, so I think about death a lot more than most people. And I'm actually reading the Tibetan Book of the Living and Dying right now.
Oh,
And it's actually really profound in terms of putting things into context. And I got the hit that maybe you'd be interested in that book.
okay.
It's Tibetan mysticism. I mean, it's profound book. But anyway, just sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you for
You're
that
welcome.
insight. Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been drawn to it too. And I went to Egypt. I mean, I've been, yeah. And on reflection, the shift, well, even with past life regression work or multidimensional stuff, it's all in that bridging between the dimensions. And even now with this death doula stuff, it's just a title. I'm already doing it, but it has to do with coaching. So you're kind of like, instead of a life coach, you're also a death coach. And so the only reason that I got called to do it is because it was like, okay, it's not a real common thing yet, but
Yeah.
and you don't need a medical thing because it's not medical at all. And that's what I don't want to do. But it was
Yeah.
really weird because it was like, okay, Mika's a death doula, and so it just makes sense. I won't go into it anymore, but thanks. Thank you
Yeah.
for space for me to make clarification too. I needed this
Yeah.
today so much, especially as my aunt is crossing over. It's and
Yeah. I'm happy to be of service.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay, let's I was pulling up the full moon, which is the 13th, right? It's Monday. So I'm gonna share the screen
Monday
again.
instead of Friday.
I know, Monday the 13th.
Cancer.
Which, by the way, what you were born on,
My moon was in Libra when I was born.
no, I mean, so you're born on a Tuesday. Did
Oh,
you
it
know
was.
that?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's on that chart. I didn't know that. I
So
think I one time.
I wanted to bring in the energy of, the every day is it represents a different planet. And Tuesday is Mars Day.
Mars. I know. Yeah, I used to teach
So
it to students because it's Martes.
Martes.
Yes, Martes. Yeah.
Martes.
So
So
fire. Hmm.
that's your energy. That action.
Okay.
So it says a lot about your personality.
Okay. Along with my Leo ascendant, but yeah. Okay.
So there's, that I just want I'm inviting you every Tuesday to celebrate.
I've heard that before, but it's something good to bring back up because I don't have any Aries in my chart.
Everybody has Aries somewhere. You have Aries on your 9th house.
It's in
So
my
you do.
house, but it's not.
It affects that part of your life. So you love traveling solo, long distance is amazing for you. You meet all kinds of people. Traveling
Yep.
solo is great for both of us because we have the same ascendant, so we have the same pattern. So yeah, everybody has everything. So it's the type of 9th house you have is it's higher education. So you're very pioneering in higher education. You're very independent thinker in terms of right brain spirituality. You're very pioneering in finding your spirituality and your philosophy in life. It's very Aries. It's very pioneering. It's very independent. So you absolutely have Aries in your chart.
Huh. Well, when I guess it was more airy. I don't have any. I have Aries, of course, but I didn't have any planets in Aries.
You have Eris, which is an asteroid, which is the goddess of discord, but you still have Aries
Have-
on the house cusp of the ninth. So it doesn't matter if you don't have any planets, you still have Aries.
Right. I'm just saying when I've looked over the planets, when I've, like, what I have in different signs, some people
Yeah.
have three, like I have a bunch of Virgo, you know? But
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm learning. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all learning. So I'm inviting you to celebrate yourself every Tuesday,
Okay, Tuesday. I always thought my day was Wednesday because of Mercury and him being my ruler.
which is interesting is there's a different aspects of yourself you're uncovering. So
Hmm.
Mars isn't bad. I embody Mars. It's passion, it's brilliant thinking, because the esoteric ruler of Mars is Mercury. So it's people that are Aries are a lot like Geminis because they have a very active brain.
Yes.
So I would love to see what you do on like a Tuesday, like to celebrate yourself. Like just have pulling that into your awareness of, oh, today's Tuesday. I'm gonna honor myself and and to be honest, my favorite day of the week is my day. I'm like, all right, it's my day.
Oh, so is it Tuesday for you?
It's Friday. No, it's Friday.
Oh, well, yeah,
I was
thank
born.
God it's Friday. Friday's the day of the goddess. And yeah. So I always said when you think about it, moon is for ideas and inspiration. So Monday Tuesday you take action, Wednesday you communicate about it, Thursday expands with Jupiter. Fridays when you honor the goddess, and that's kind of a day of
And do
love,
art. It's
day that
doing
you
art.
discover. And then Saturn is when you like you kind of see the challenges or whatever. That's what I always looked at Saturn. And then Domingo is Sunday. That's when things come to light or whatever. But anyway,
Yeah.
those are some generalities um, that
Yeah.
I came up with the days of the week, knowing again what I call the archetypes or the aspects or what I guess they're not aspects. You got to watch the terminology. But
Yeah.
I always I always shared with people day to take action is Tuesday, you know, and and the 2 days of the week that are more feminine energy are obviously Monday and Friday. So those other more days of the week are more masculine. So yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
But just to like own that about you is there's a fire you have, there's a passion, there's a pioneering spirit.
What day were you born on a Friday?
Friday the 13th, baby.
Oh, shut up. Of course you were.
Yeah. I'm a witch for sure. All right, so let's talk about the full moon
Okay.
happening. So I have it here. So this is the Monday chart. So as you can see, it's like let's see, it says 11 degrees of Cancer. Um it's highlighting your Pars Fortune. Have you heard about Pars Fortune?
No.
It's the little X-Men symbol.
Okay. It's called what
Par-
fortune?
Pars, let me write it in the,
Spell it Pars.
yeah, Pars.
Okay, Pars fortune.
Yeah, so notice the word fortune.
Yeah.
It's your lot in life.
Okay.
So your lot in life, it's a gift and a talent that you're born with, and it's in Cancer in the 12th house. So the full moon is touching that part of your chart. So you actually are really gifted with women in your life.
Okay.
You have a very good connection with women, the feminine, the goddess, the archetypes of goddess, the Mother Earth itself. You are very naturally connected to that realm of feminine beauty. You exude feminine beauty. You've always been a gorgeous woman. People have always been jealous of you in your life, I can tell. um, and it's in the 12th house of the collective unconscious. So you really tap into the archetypes of the feminine. You have access to all like channeling abilities and information about all of these ancient deities and goddess archetypes and
Goddess.
from
Yep.
the
Dig
from
into
the
her cards daily. Yep.
yeah, like you are very tapped into that realm. And so as a result, you actually help women, especially, connect with the feminine aspects, ancient or otherwise. So this full moon is highlighting this part of yourself where you're very tapped into the goddess. You're very tapped into, honestly, a harmonious way of feeling. And so I want to talk to you about Mars. You have a Mars conjunction. So your natal Mars is in Cancer in the 12th house. So this makes perfect sense as a past life regressionist or psychic, because wherever Mars is, it's a never-ending supply of energy in your chart. And so all of your energy goes to the 12th house, which is the collective unconscious. So these people are very psychic, they're very tapped in. You're basically swimming in the ocean of the collective unconscious. So there's lots of information you have access to, and it's conjunct Venus. So this is very actually harmonious in terms of relationships. Like, you actually attract harmonious relationships, male-female relationships. And actually, this is past life connections for sure, like past life romance. In fact, I would say every relationship you've ever had is a past life connection.
Absolutely. Found them, almost all of them, if not all of them. Yep.
So the Mars return, let's talk about that. You're in a Mars return. A Mars return chart is for 2 years.
Okay.
So for the next 2 years, you are at home with yourself in terms of your energy. So you're going to be more inspired to get on your book, to, channel your mystical experiences. You're at home there. So this is an excellent time to take action, because Mars is action.
Okay.
In the realm of communicating your spiritual experiences, or being more open, or even taking more adventures in the realm of mysticism. Maybe you're called to go to a different place that's related to your spiritual beliefs, an ashram, a temple, a sacred site. But for the next 2 years, you're going to be very inspired to be channeling, because it's your energy's at home with itself. So this full moon's also highlighting that, because it's in the same house, in the same sign of Cancer in the 12th. So you might have some really cool revelations during the next
2 years.
the full moon, highlighting especially the full moon 2.5 days later, so the 13th through the 15th or 16th. These are very excellent times that you'll get some downloads or very clear directions on where to put your energy for the next 2 years. But you're basically walking between the worlds for the next 2.5 years. I mean, you always do, but it's more like you're very aware of it. You're consciously aware of this. It's like owning it. It's like, yeah, I'm a spirit walker. I'm a dream walker. I'm a shamaness. I'm a, someone who knows, someone who's in between realms, someone who is tapped in. And the more open you are about it, the more you pull in your tribe,
Right.
Because you know what it feels like to be judged and not seen. It's literally death to you, to be projected upon that you're some evil witch, when really you're a magical being that's guided. You are who you are, and that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so the last like 15 minutes we have, I want to go over the progressed chart, which is, there's never enough time to talk about astrology, because I could, you could talk about this all day long. It's amazing.
I just find how you're able to pick. I mean, I'm proud of where I'm at, but it just opens up how much more there is. I know it's an endless, but it is cool.
Yeah.
It's just what you're saying is triggering so much as you said it. Just like I told you with this Chris Pierce. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And the other Chris Pierce was the one I met. I met him and he guided me. There are 3 standing stones in that area. And I know it's like an equilateral triangle. One of them is on Paul McCartney's estate. And I got to visit all 3 of
Oh,
them.
wow.
And oh yeah. And he's the one that told me I was from Orion.
Oh, I actually,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. I
Beetlejuice.
love, did you see the new movie?
I haven't. No. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I have a dark sense of humor. I love Beetlejuice. That's really cool.
Yeah. And so I've always been fascinated with stars, but now and I always get guided when I look up. It's like, oh, there you are. Right. It just happened 2 nights ago when I went up to the solarium. And it's not easy to see stars in the city. So I went over and I thought, what is that? I thought if it's not a plane, it's not moving. But I'm like, it's so bright. And I turned off the lights in the solarium and I went over and sure enough, I looked up and it was a different star, but I'm like, oh, there you are, Ryan.
Oh wow.
That ties into
Love that.
each of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually remember you saying, because we were talking about star seeds back in the day, and when I was on my journey of discovering what star system I'm from, and
And
I love,
which are you from?
I'm a Pleiadian.
Pleiadian. That's what I was going to say. Pleiadian.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
Uh,
people associate Orion with the Greys, but there's so many. It's just like anything else. It's like when you look at the United States of America, there's just like such a variety. So even though you may be from there, that doesn't mean that's what you are. Does that make sense? That
well,
I
I don't
believe a
associate.
lot of people came in through Orion. It's a
Yeah,
portal.
I don't associate Orion with Grays at all. Um,
What's
being an
the
Aquarius, well, being an Aquarius, I'm very tapped into the cosmic intelligence. So alien stuff is probably one of my favorite topics ever.
trying to?
But if you think about the Egyptian pyramids, purposely built their pyramids directly in alignment with Orion's belt, it says a lot about Orion's and the Egyptian connection.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of
Um,
Egyptian
yeah.
pastors.
Okay, we got 10 minutes.
Got it.
Um, this is your chart for the next 2.5 years.
Okay.
I'm going to send you all these charts and a full natal chart report.
Okay.
And probably not till this evening because I have to work right after this.
Okay, no worries.
But I'm sending you these things, and we can go over this again. Because it's so it's called a progressed chart, and it's for 2.5 years. And it's a long conversation, but I'm just giving a little snippet just to maybe start meditating about, as if you're looking down on yourself from source perspective. You're raising even higher. So you have your natal chart, then you have your progressions, and you're raising even higher to look at the overall picture of your life is the progressed chart. So I want to talk about the ascendant, your ascendants in Virgo for 2.5 years. So you know Virgo well, but you're even more critical in terms of fine tuning all the details.
Hmm.
You actually are. It's you attract I mean, it says you have the potential to attract Virgo people, whatever's on your ascendant. Because we have the same cycle. So I have Virgo ascendant, so I'm attracting all those Virgo people. Um, let's see,
Well,
you have,
can I give you an insight of something kind of funny?
yeah.
All 3 of PM's children are Virgos. The ones I'm supposed to help.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm going to be helping them with his transition. Like I helped them before with Linda's. That's been an underlying theme of doing things, but I wasn't aware of for years. And I was guided by her to do stuff. And I was like, I went to his son's um, debut in Iowa, and she asked me to go so that she could experience it through me. And I was guided to front row center. And then I got to meet him after. I gave him a swan feather. And David Lynch brought me backstage. Do you know who David Lynch is? Oh,
No.
if you're into the dark stuff, I mean, he did this. He's a film producer. He's into TM big time. But anyway, I don't know.
What's TM?
His name is
No,
Lynch.
what's TM?
Transcendental meditation. That was by the Maharishi. In fact, this was his debut was at the Maharishi Center in Iowa. And but anyway, I actually had to go to I went to Tucson because my aunt passed. My Uncle Barney, who you met, his wife. And I went right from Tucson, flew to Milwaukee, didn't even, I just jumped in a car and had to drive all the way to Iowa and with my friend Kayla anyway. But I had just visited Linda's place. And so all this stuff happened and it was crazy. And he was there and we were in this small, I could go on and on. I just have to remember this for the book. But yeah, so we're in this town and our paths kept crossing. And the guys that were with him were accusing me again of stalking him. And I was there first. Like I was invited to a party and we're at this party and he shows up. And they're like, you're stalking him. And I'm like, how can I stalk him when I was here before you even got here? I didn't know you were here. You know, like it was weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, but James and I are connected and I'm friends with one of his friends. And so, you know, anyway, I ended up living next door to him and all these weird things, but it was all guided by Linda. The thing I'm looking at though is that thing about the Virgo, which is funny because they're all three Virgos. I know who they were in a past life. And yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
It's beyond, it's just another, I'm picking up on the sign that I know about.
Yeah. So I got guided to ask you a question. What does a Valkyrie mean to you?
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie to me is Nordic, like a spirit. Am I right?
What is your connection with a Valkyrie?
I just keep getting Vikings and like Freya.
Yeah, I just get very strongly. This happened to me 3 times now. I got a hit to tell you about the Valkyries because you are one.
Okay. All right.
So there's an aspect of yourself that is unconsciously working through you that's literally a Valkyrie archetype.
Okay.
So I would
look that up.
I'm suggesting that you meditate on that and pull in that ownership of that energy because you are Viking.
Yeah.
And either I mean it's an unconscious thing that it's like that's what you're doing.
Okay.
So it helps the dead to cross and take them till Valhalla, right?
Right. Do you know that my parents' place is called Valhalla?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like getting all this like I need.
Yeah. And
So
I'm a Viking.
You are.
Yeah,
I mean that's
big Viking fans too. Yeah.
But the Valkyrie is such an important aspect of Norse mythology and is such an important archetype. And there's something about this Chiron in your in Pisces of what you're tapping into.
Well, do you think that has to do with this call toward the death doula thing to be assisting people to cross over?
Oh, it's literally one and the same. That literally is the archetype. And so this is where the realm of magic I'm inviting you because my Mercury is touching your Chiron. So it's like I get to communicate like, hey, this is the realm of death is super magical. It's the raven. It's the messenger of the dead. It's this whole magical dimension that the Egyptians were so tapped into.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a heavy Valkyrie archetype that you're now pulling in and embodying.
And well, most of the goddess archetypes, that was part of their mission too. Like Rhiannon and the Celtics too, not just the North, but they were all like, I'm just thinking of Rhiannon now because I just recently pulled her, but that whole thing, and she rode a white horse, and I used to have dreams of being on a white horse, and I asked Santa for a white horse every year, but that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't gone too much into, like, I mean, I was gifted runes when I went to Scotland, and actually I was gifted a book too by my niece, but I gifted to someone else. I guess I love Freya, but I find the Norse, um, although Scotland is heavily, especially the coast that I go to, and that's, I mean, talk about feeling at home. Um, maybe I'll plan a trip to go to Sweden again. That's where my goddaughter is, and one of my best friends lives there. Yeah. He's also connected to the past life with that family, but he was, he tried saving me. We were friends.
Well, unfortunately I'm out of time, but there's this huge root chakra activation with like ancestry.
Okay.
And it's connected with your origins and your positive ancestors, and I'm reminded how much support you have, because it's almost like you're operating with a blinder of thinking you're alone in this.
Okay.
But there's like thousands of beings around you that are like, they have your back, and I'm inviting you to feel this support, and it comes from the root chakra or earth star chakra of your ancient positive ancestors, of like warriors, and they're never not with you, and this, but I'm just bringing it in, of a reminder of like, the truth is you have thousands of beings that are helping you, and you're not alone in this at all, and this is part of your mission of reclaiming this land, and tapping into the Valkyrie aspect of yourself, and the death doula, and it's all you're literally, the message over and over is you're exactly where you're supposed to be. and it's a beautiful journey that you signed up for.
Okay, so let me ask you, since I know you have to go. So if we were to set up, you know how you say find a coach or whatever, I would, I'm feeling very inspired by our sessions, and I don't want to just talk about this stuff to anybody, because this isn't like putting this out. Even when I think about, like, I already have somebody that I have hired, and we put it on the back burner for my book proposal. So I need to start doing what I know she's going to ask of me, so that I'm not, and then I will be doing that. There's another one in June. So I'm setting that goal. I'm going to submit my book proposal in June, because even if they select it, it won't go out for 2 more years. Got it? Okay. 2 years. If it's selected. I can also self-publish, which is fine. I don't even care if I publish right now. I want to get it done. And it's not so much to give to the public, but to give to them, so that they have a history of all that's led to what's going to come up, to give them, that's what's coming now, to give them assurance that this is spiritually guided, right? Yeah. I'm not seeking money or fame, or to take advantage of these people, because that's what most people do. And I have no interest in that. I could have tried to do that years ago. Anyway. So, but what I'm saying is, I don't know what your schedule's like. I don't know what we could work out. And I know, but I would really love to tap in with you every week or every other week if we can make it happen. And of course, I will be willing to pay you for your time. So I just need to I'm just putting that out there right now, because even though I know you're talking about astrology, but this is really powerful, and I really feel it's crazy. I'm feeling Chris Pierce, like his spiritual guidance too. And I felt him when I was in Scotland. It was so weird. Like I remember looking out at the sea, and in my third eye, he came. I'm like, huh,
Nice.
Chris, So,
So, so
yeah.
to clarify, are you asking for like an accountability coach?
Well, I don't know about accountability. Just connecting with you is fine. But I mean, I don't know what that looks like. Just connecting with you is worth my hiring you on. But yeah, I guess you could call it an accountability coach too. But yeah, yeah.
So what
Well,
I'm
that I don't know what kind of things you do, but
so what I'm guided to assist you on is having you start your book and giving you like, hey, this needs to be done by next week.
mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you need to write, 20 pages a week at least for your book. And how is that going? Like checking in with you once a week or every other week on Zoom and being like, so did you do your pages? Are you writing? Are you
But what you don't understand is I am not. I've already written 500 pages, but I'm not going to use that. What I want to do is create the book proposal. Then I will write. So this is not a thing of sitting down and writing the book. I need to write the plan. I need to create the outline. Those kind of things come first, especially for Virgo. So, like, once I have that in place, because the story isn't coming out of my imagination, it's
yeah.
just remembering it and organizing it and preparing it to be presented to the general population or whoever is to read it. So, I think I may actually write this as a letter to James, his son. You know what I mean? Like I'm writing a letter to inform the family or somebody. That it's almost like writing. Like I always, when I connect to Linda, I always write, Linda, are you there? And LLM, which is what I always end my little things are Love, Light, and Magic, which is another possible title, but Love, Light, and Magic, but those are her initials.
Nice.
It was Linda Louise McCartney. So what I'm looking at is like, and I could also do that as a channel. I could channel the book, which would be much easier for me, but I still need to. So, and I could send you if you wanted to work that way, but it isn't a thing like, oh, have 10 pages done and then I check in with you. That I could handle. I think even going over my chart and what you're doing is it's bringing back, it's honing me in on my mission. That I need more than a book coach. I don't need you to be my book coach. I could get that from anybody who doesn't even know what I'm writing. Does that make
Okay.
sense? I
Yeah.
need a spiritual coach in a sense. And I need somebody that opens that portal that I can connect to and to focus on. And I have set goals to write and channel every day, but it's not always happening. And so anyway, just I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really care. I mean, I love the astrology part because it opens a portal. Um,
Yeah.
but it doesn't, and like, and wherever we're going, we're being guided, as you
Yeah.
know. And I just want to
Yeah.
let you know that I have this daily practice of calling in the four directions and then a special stuff. Just within the last, I don't know how long, maybe 6 months to a year, I've been actually calling in the ancestors and calling in, like really calling in, like
Yeah. Yeah.
and calling in the angels and calling, like doing a literal call in. I just did it before our session here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but
I will
I'm very
I will
Pisces lately, like
yeah, I
not
will meditate on all this. I
see
really
what that looks for you, even if it's working with the astrology stuff. Because like you said, we could talk about this forever. And but,
yeah.
but yeah, and
Yeah, let me meditate on that. I really I do feel called to assist you. And I Yeah, let's see what I start school Monday, so I'm gonna be crazy busy. But let me take some time, not too much time, to
Yeah, no, just think about it. And I'm just
yeah,
saying it it's it's not quantity for me, it's quality. And
yeah,
I know you're gonna be busy.
yeah. I'm gonna
It,
stop the
you
share
could
or something.